San Dimas, getting closer into Pomona as well. So we're really just making our way from west to east through Los Angeles, through the general Los Angeles County. Really have just seen different tactics. I mean, initially we have seen the CHP officers close behind this vehicle, but really now it's just kind of a larger distance behind this driver. It's really just I can only assume that it's really because of the pretty much consistent driving, the consistent, well, I mean at this point about 60 miles per hour, but we've really just been seeing between 60 and 70 miles per hour out of this driver. So they're really, it's, I don't know. It's odd that this driver just continues to flee from officers, but just is almost on cruise control as far as their speed. Yeah, so this section of the 210 freeway, we are eastbound side coming at Fruit Street. So passing through the city of Laverne at this point. And if you're just now joining us, it's just really one of the most memorable things that we've seen so far, which is that a little bit earlier, that driver rolled down his window and there was a sheriff's unit right pretty much one lane across, not directly. Yeah, oh, there's someone else. Yeah, so that's another CHP unit pushing ahead to try to get ahead of this. So we may be seeing some tactics in place. Either way, the priority from a CHP is going to be the safety of others, all the other drivers that are on the road, safety of themselves, and even the safety of this driver. They really, that's their number one priority. So starting to see that CHP unit get a little bit closer than it was before. Really just still about 4 or 5 car lengths, it seems. Yeah, freeway is really empty up here. We did see that CHP unit speed up ahead of this, so it's Most likely because that officer went up ahead and cleared things out. The more empty that this freeway is, it's the less dangerous, essentially, the pursuit is. If this driver just continues on straight and just stays at 70 miles an hour, he or she will eventually run out of gas, and then that'll be it. That'll be a safe conclusion. If we just continues on, sticks in the middle lane, and the CHP continues doing a great job of keeping other drivers off of the freeway, then really, I mean, this hopefully will just come to a safe ending. So you can see there's already, that was almost dangerous. You saw just now there was someone on the overpass, possibly that was watching our coverage on their phone, and they were seeing this. But that dangerous part was that person that was on that overpass ran across. So like, what if they ran across and there was another person that just happened to be driving across there? That was almost more dangerous than the pursuit, anything I've seen in this pursuit so far. But continuing on, we're locked into this car, this black Subaru here, that has been evading drivers for over an hour now, and is continuing on the 210, headed east through like that kind of the foothill neighborhood. We're getting yeah. So slightly slowing down here. I mean, this is one of the first times that I've seen this driver in the 50s. It's really mainly been just between 60 and 70 miles per hour, but slightly slowing down here, despite how empty the freeway is ahead of the driver. So really hard to tell what's going through the mind there, but I know one of the thoughts is, yes, there is indeed 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 at the moment that I can see, and then a few more that are further behind out of the shot, making sure that any of the other drivers that are headed east here on the 210 are not going to be getting involved with this driver. Because yeah, if he's going 55, surely someone could be going regular the speed limit and end up passing this. So CHP doesn't want that. They're going to keep everyone back, essentially run a traffic break behind this, just in case anything does happen on the freeway. So really, and oh yeah, so we did see another officer there. That might have been a possible spike strip attempt. Excuse me. So we saw that CHP unit kind of pull off there, just to the right of this driver. And yeah, hold on, we are seeing the driver pull down the window one more time. Right there, it was right under the underpass is when the driver pulled down the window again. So really, the main reason we've seen CHP almost like give this driver space is because the more space that the driver has, it seems like the slower he's been driving. But with that little bit of movement there, it seems like that might have agitated the driver a little bit, because we are seeing those speeds back into the 70s. And coming under this overpass here, it was probably one of the first times I've seen a signal change. So finally, I guess, deciding to use a turn signal. Really haven't been merging between lanes too much, but just to have the thought to use a turn signal when you already have a lot going on, it's tricky. Yeah, so coming up on this one is Campus Ave. So really in the city of Upland, we're really kind of passing through. So there are, as we have another car here, and that's kind of what's tricky is uh, when we have the other vehicles who just don't, yeah, see, he finally, that car was almost about to pass our driver, but then was able to look into that rearview mirror and see, oh, this is not a driver that I want to be, trying to get ahead of or overtaking on the freeway. If you overtake a driver that's being pursued, surely CHP is going to be looking at you a certain way as well. Go here. Across. I mean, you can see here, there's other drivers at this point, or other people that are out. Dinner, maybe folks are like, hey, there's something going on. Let's go out on the overpass and check it out. But just, I urge people just to use caution. Overpass. So we're heading into San Bernardino County now. This is our third county. Started in Ventura County, LA County, and now San Bernardino County. I mean, this is like at this point, this guy may be going to Big Bear. I mean, it's like we haven't quite hit the 15 yet, so we'll really see. That'll be the next. As we can see, we are seeing more and more people out there up on the overpasses. We are starting to see a few more vehicles on the road. I mean, we really hope that these vehicles aren't folks like the people on the overpass that have seen what was going on and are deciding, oh, I want to get into it or kind of see what's going on. It's best for folks to stay off the freeway if they're aware of thing as safe as possible, coming to a just peaceful ending. So we have two more units here entering onto the freeway. Just bear with us for one moment. We got that a little too far up there, George. Oh, good. But yeah, just bear with us for one moment. We're able to get ahead and see inside the vehicle. We checked just a little bit earlier, but now that the sun is kind of going down or almost hitting this driver right from behind, we might have a little bit of a better shot at looking into this vehicle. So just bear with us for a moment. Oh, there was a spike strip attempt right there. We just saw it, George. We are ready into. I'm shooting into the skirt at the moment. Sweet, thank you. So another spike strip attempt. It was tricky, but we're ahead of this pursuit. But there's been multiple. I've seen at least 3 units that have been pulled over and have had spike strips out attempting to get this driver to stop. I mean, it is really predictable given that this driver has just stayed on this freeway for, I mean, or at least been stayed going the same direction, a couple different freeways, but pretty much in the same lane for almost an hour now, and going at pretty much the same speeds, right about between 60 and 70 miles an hour. And thankfully, with some of the work of getting ahead of this that CHP has done, a lot of the traffic has not even been in the way. Like a lot of the traffic's already pulled over by the time this driver has gotten to it. But with the freeway just being this wide open, that gives the driver a lot of room to be able to swerve and maneuver and dodge any sort of spike strip that might be thrown ahead. So it's tricky on these on a freeway like the 210 where it can be 6 lanes wide at one point. So coming up onto the 15 freeway interchange here. So we'll really be able to tell if the driver stays to the left, then we'll continue on to the 210. But as we kind of see with some of those painted signs on the road, if we go to the, if this driver decides last minute to go to the right, then he could end up on the 15. So, but right now it looks like it's just going to be 210, unless there's any sort of last-minute drastic moves that we sometimes see. But now that we passed the gore point there, pretty much set on the 210, unless he decides to exit, which would be something we haven't seen. This has been on freeways for as long as we've been over it, for a full hour now. We haven't seen this driver even, I don't know, like, so I've rarely seen him go into that far right lane, let alone attempt to merge off of the freeway. Sometimes we see in pursuits, drivers will almost try to do a fake out and go from one lane or one side of the freeway to the other. But this driver is really just staying in, one lane, pretty much on cruise control, just slowly but surely making their way through 3 different counties here, from Ventura County, Los Angeles County, and now going through San Bernardino County. So we did see another lane change there because there are a few more vehicles that are up ahead of this, but because CHP has been ahead of it themselves, all these drivers are already pulled over. So it's not like they're seeing this and then pulling over. As you can see, like those drivers are pulled over by the time this car is even getting to it. So they are aware of it. But right now we are going to see a little bit more traffic because these folks that we're seeing, like this blue vehicle just above the car that we're looking at, are coming from the 15 freeway. So they haven't been on the 210. They maybe don't know what is going on, and that they're basically merging into an active police pursuit. As soon as they get a chance to see it in those back windows, we may see them pull over. But right now, like that blue car, for example, I don't believe that they know that there's an active police pursuit going on behind them. We mentioned earlier the sun. I mean, it is just about, we're just past sunset here. So really, just like that, we can kind of see some of those vehicles are starting to realize there's an active pursuit going on. I should pull over, allow CHP to do what they need to do. Another unit here joining in. We have seen a few different cars switch in and out, keep everybody fresh. But this pursuit just continues on here, eastbound on the 210 freeway. We've passed the 15 now, so really getting closer to Redlands in Fontana currently. Speeds remain, it's kind of, well, once again, between about 65 and 70 miles per hour. Really pretty consistent with this driving. I mentioned earlier, it's almost like cruise control is on. There really isn't too much aggressive acceleration and then deceleration, it's just been a consistent 60, 65. You know, we did see at one point there was a sheriff's department unit that was right next to this driver. Essentially pacing him for a few moments, and the driver rolled down the window to interact with that sheriff's deputy briefly, but then rolled back up the window. Since then, we've seen about 3 different spike strips at least performed or attempted. It's hard to tell if any of those landed. I really didn't see any personally that appeared to land because it's just tricky with the freeway being this wide. It's hard for it's hard for a spike strip to cover the entire freeway and then be effective against both the driver and then not be effective against any other drivers that might be behind it. It's just very tricky to have a spike strip that big to be able to activate it and then deactivate it so that units behind the driver are not affected by those spikes. We continue to see some vehicles pulled over to the side of the road. I mean, we have noticed some vehicles up ahead of the pursuit, kind of essentially not exactly pulling people over, but warning people, giving them a heads up that, hey, something's coming, look in your rearview mirror, you're going to want to pull over for your own safety. And that's a lot of what we've seen so far in this hour-plus long pursuit. So what we're really seeing now, I mean, we can tell there's different units on this. So the car that's directly behind this is another one of those, the cruiser that we've been following. But you can see there's another unit in white that's behind this. So this driver has gone through 4 different CHP divisions, essentially. You know, Ventura, West Valley, Baldwin Park, and now it's been handed over to the Inland Empire Division. So this is we move into a new jurisdiction, that whoever is based in that jurisdiction knows the roads better. They know the exits. They know, they have a better idea of, where the driver might go, where bailouts might be. So that's one of the main reasons that CHP will hand things over from one division to another. So as straight and pretty much straightforward as this driver has been going, the 210 is going to hit a curve pretty soon. Once we get into Highland, it's going to run into the 10 freeway right in Highland there. So we're really going to be able to tell if he's going to get off, go northbound into the foothills or continue on to the 10 freeway and then really just head almost. Yeah, really towards Palm Springs. So really in the city of San Bernardino now, really at almost towards the base of, if you were to drive up to Big Bear, Running Springs, we're really getting close to that 330 exit pretty soon here. But if this driver just continues, stays inside that, just in that middle lane as we've seen for the majority of this pursuit, it's really just going to end up on the 10 freeway as the 210 sort of bends around here in Redlands. Yeah, so this is the first time. Yeah, well, actually, this is the first time that I've seen the driver merge off the freeway or merge onto. It almost looks like an exit. We're gonna see here. Yeah, it might be what. Yeah, so this might be one of those instances where the driver actually has a chance to continue back on the freeway or exit. One of those kind of roundabouts where if he wants to merge, he's going to be cutting in front of that other vehicle. And yeah, so it does appear that this driver is going to be exiting the 210. Turn signals on, and yeah, we have that other driver is getting, merging over, giving some space here. So coming underneath us now, or almost coming underneath us. So the 215 is what is where this driver has decided to continue at the moment. So 215 freeway. This would be our, well, if we count the 101, the 134, the 210, and now here on the 215, this would be our fourth freeway so far in this pursuit. So it's, and yeah, we're seeing the turn signal activation once again. One of those, things we normally don't see in pursuits. But sure enough, this driver decided that for whatever reason, he decides to activate his turn signal. But the other rules of the road at the moment, he's going to go ahead and ignore. So 210 freeway. Or, excuse me, 215 freeway. We are seeing some CHP units just like that, blocking off the on-ramps so that other drivers that are just, trying to make their way wherever they need to go here on Sunday, making sure that they don't accidentally get in the way of this or accidentally merge and just, cause any sort of extra issues for CHP. So unlike the 210 when we were coming through here, this freeway is just 2 lanes, especially at this point. So if CHP wanted to, a spike strip is a lot more doable on a freeway on a freeway that's only 2 lanes wide, because the driver just has less opportunity to try to avoid it and get out of the way. So we don't know for sure, and we're not going to give anything away over the air, just as a matter of safety and caution. But I would not be surprised if we do see a spike strip coming up here on the 215 now that the highway is only 2 lanes wide. Oh, balloon. Yeah. Oh, sketch. So this pursuit is continuing on here. You can see another one of those airships. So this one, yeah, in the shot there. So we're heading northbound on the 215. So we're getting close now to the 15, which would take us into the Cajon Pass. So headed almost towards Vegas here. I mean, on an Easter weekend, we normally would see a lot more of that traffic coming back from Vegas. But heading out to Vegas now, we really aren't seeing too much traffic here ahead of this, at least heading northbound on the 15 as we're looking up. Really just maintaining those 60-mile-an-hour speeds right now. Sometimes we've seen it go up to 70. So coming up soon on the 15 and 215 interchange here. So we will see a bit more traffic. Looking out the window, we can see there's definitely on the 15, there's a lot more of these 18-wheelers like we're looking at right now. So that does add, I'll see right there. Oh, another spike attempt. It was really tricky with that 18-wheeler there. But it was another spike attempt right here on the 215 freeway. Like I said, yeah, with these 2-lane roads, that's really where CHP is going to have success in getting those spikes deployed. But as the freeway opens up here, you can see, yeah, merging onto the 15 proper, and yeah, it's a lot more tricky when the road is just this wide.
Off the off-ramp, and it got right back on. But exiting now, this is Telegraph Road. This is getting wild, and I mean the driving is more reckless right now on surface streets than it was on the 5 freeway. But yeah, going the wrong way, driving between lanes, cutting through intersections, disregarding red lights, completely disregarding other drivers. And as I come out a little bit wider, you can see the volume of traffic right now on a Friday afternoon. This is not safe for anybody on the roads, other drivers, pedestrians. Look at this.